Hey beautiful, if you are one of those people thinking of starting an OnlyFans account, there are 7 questions that I would like you to answer. Get ready, I'm about to give you those 7 hot questions, and not hot in the sense of like sexy. They're not really sexy questions, so don't expect any kind of sexy questions. There you go. Question number 7 is, what are your goals in life? How do you see your future? Do you want kids? Do you want the white picket fence and the dogs and the husband that comes with that white picket fence? Do you want to have a career on the side? How does OnlyFans play into those goals? Is it something that you see as a temporary thing? Is it like, I really need money right now and this is easy, quick, why not? Let's do it. How do you see it? And it's really important to ask yourself this question, because you might think it's as simple as, oh, I'm just doing this for now, or I'm just doing this while I have my looks or while I'm young.
I'm an old woman now.
And it's okay to think that, but you have to be realistic about what it actually means for your future. If you want something like a family, kids, what happens if your kids find your content? Yes, you've posted it once upon a time and it's no longer something that you do actively. Your kids can still find your content. And how would that affect their life? Would you be okay with them finding your content? How would you explain it? Just think of your kids as being a separate entity from you, which is they're going to have their own life. They're going to go to school. They're going to have their colleagues asking questions, maybe even finding your content.
What'd your hot mom pack for dessert today?
How is that going to reflect on them? How would you feel if when you were a child and your mom had done OnlyFans at some point and you found that content? As long as your content was once upon a time uploaded on one website, it can be everywhere. Your content is going to be evergreen. If your content is out there, it's out there for good. You cannot remove it. If you try to remove it, it might pop up somewhere else. So think of OnlyFans as once it's out there, it's out there. Like, you can't take it back. You can't erase it and pretend it never happened. So how will that play in with your goals in life? A job that you're going to have? What happens if your boss finds it? What happens if your colleagues find it?
I need to see you in my office now.
Just think of OnlyFans as being linked to other things, not just you. So the role of your boss, work colleagues, husband, kids, anyone else in your life, family members, anyone else in your life or in your ecosystem who could be affected by your stuff. And I'm saying could be because nothing in life is certain, but if something like that is found by people, how would that impact you? Question 6, how do you handle criticism and negative feedback? Are you one of those people who don't like hearing the bad and prefer to just get only the good, and if it's negative, then you don't want to hear it, even if it's constructive feedback?
Talk to the hand, because the face don't want to hear it anymore.
Well, you're going to get a lot of feedback for doing OnlyFans. People are going to insert, no pun intended, insert their opinions. They're going to be saying whether they agree, disagree. They might insult you. They might call you names. They might leave hateful comments. They might spread rumors. There are so many things that come out of being online, and being online in a way where you're naked or showing your body in a particular way, doing sexual things, having sex on camera. These things that are already very intimate and make you feel vulnerable off camera, when they're online, it's just going to be heightened. There's always going to be stigma attached to anything to do with sex. Yes, it's more socially accepted, but people are always going to have opinions, and they're not always going to be positive. It's not always going to be empowering. Like, you know, you do you, boo. Can you deal with people hating on you for doing OnlyFans? It's as simple as that. Can you deal with it mentally? Or is it going to just really affect your mental health and it's going to make you struggle and it's going to make things a lot worse for you because you chose to do OnlyFans? Question 5. What are your boundaries and how will you enforce them? When I say boundaries, it can be a couple of things. But the first is, what are you willing to show on OnlyFans? Is it going to be pictures? Are you going to be naked? Are you going to be having someone other than yourself? Are you going to be doing threesome, gang? I'm trying to think of other things that you could do on OnlyFans. If you say to yourself, I'm just going to post some pictures, it's not going to be a big deal. It's kind of going to be like Instagram, but I'm just going to get paid for it. Are you sure that that's all it's going to be? Because you could think that that's it. I don't need to go any further. I will never do this. I will never film myself. You have these ideas of what you'll never do. But the thing about OnlyFans is there's a lot of comparison. A lot of girls who get on OnlyFans think they're going to make the money of someone who is a top earner. And top earner means that you are in a very, very, very tiny percentile of creators making that dough, making that lifestyle changing, insane amount of money.
I'm rich, you're not.
But most people who are on OnlyFans, if you look at statistics, and I'm going to insert one right here, you can see that most people are not making that dollar bills, yo. They are not doing that. And that's because that's just how the world works. There will always be top income earners and there will always be people on the bottom. Once again, no pun intended. There are so many puns in this whole, there are so many puns to do with. There could be so many puns. Or maybe I just have a dirty mind. But anyway.
You're weird today.
What was I saying? So I was saying that, oh my goodness, I just lost my train of thought. Train could be a pun. No, I'm not going to go there. Are you going to stick to the plan, which is to just show your body in lingerie and that's it? You know, your flaps aren't on show.
Flap, 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 flap.
Titties ain't on show. Nothing else is on show. You're just posting the photos you have on Instagram to make a little bit of money. Like, can't blame you for that, right? Are you going to stick to that? Or is it going to get harder and harder to resist when you see other girls making more money because they're showing more? Unless you're a celebrity or some rare creators, you cannot get away with just a little bit of lingerie, a little bit of bikini here and there. If you're the type of person who gets influenced by what other people are doing, or you start to feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough, I want to make more money, I want to show more. Something to think about. Another thing I mean by boundaries is separating OnlyFans from your personal life. Can you do it? Can you, for example, have a boyfriend and have OnlyFans at the same time? I know there are lots of relationships where one person or both people do OnlyFans and it seems to work. Some people it works, some people it doesn't. So you've got to think, are you already in a relationship? How does your partner feel about it? And if you're not in a relationship, do you think that's going to make it more difficult for you to get in a relationship? A lot of guys don't want to have girlfriends who have OnlyFans, whether it's because they don't feel comfortable with their girl being on the internet like that. Even if it's just lingerie, it's like the reputation of OnlyFans. People assume that you're doing the most. Or maybe they're going to get flack from their friends because their girlfriend has OnlyFans. So just think about, how does OnlyFans work in terms of your boundaries with your personal life? Along the same lines, question 4. How will you doing OnlyFans impact your personal relationships? Will you be trying to hide it from your family? Will you be bringing it up at Thanksgiving or Christmas? I don't know why you would do that, but maybe it's like the movie Meet the Fockers and everybody is super sexual and just like, woo, everyone talks about their sex life and what they do on camera and things like that.
Half the people at this table have penises.
So how will it impact your family? I know certain people I follow who do OnlyFans, they don't really mention their family too much. They try to keep it low key, especially it's like, oh, I don't want my dad to know.
I don't know if my dad, okay, well, I haven't talked about it with my dad. I feel like that's just an off limits.
Or I don't want my grandparents to know, or my uncle or whoever. If there is somebody you wouldn't want knowing that you have an OnlyFans, and if they so happen to find out, however that could happen, that can happen so many ways. You can't really hide things from people when you have your stuff on the internet. Then just think, how will that conversation go? Are you comfortable having that conversation? Will it make you feel bad that suddenly this person who you didn't want knowing knows? And is it going to change your relationship with them? Is this something that you're willing to risk? Is it something like, oh, I'll deal with it if the time comes? If you don't care about what anybody else thinks, truly, truly don't care, then that's okay. But if you say you don't care and you actually do deep down, you just don't want people to know.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Then this is a question worth considering. Question 3, why? Why do you want to show your body and get paid for it? What is it about OnlyFans that makes you want to get on board? Is it because you want to make a lot of money? Is it because you're proud of your body, you want to show it off? You want to do something different? Is it because you want to do what a lot of other girls are doing and you kind of want to feel, included in that club, that clique?
Join the Navy.
What is it that is making you want to do OnlyFans? Your reasoning is super important because it's going to give you an idea of what you expect from it. Because of course, when you think of something, you have a particular expectation about it. You might have certain assumptions about OnlyFans creators, their lifestyle, how easy it is to do OnlyFans, that, it's like you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business.
I don't need you. I get my own money.
You're your own boss. What is it that makes you want to do OnlyFans? Break it down. Be honest with yourself. What drew you to it in the first place? Question 2. How do you feel when you have a fat day? Day when you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, where did this bloating come from? Oh, why do I have these lumps, these bumps? What happened?
What is that?
Why today? How do you feel when you have that kind of day? Does it completely ruin everything? Does your appearance affect how you see yourself? If you look snatched and tight and, pumped up in all the right places, do you feel amazing about yourself? Do you feel better than when you're not having the best body day? If you get your worth from, what was this thing? It's like a little spider. If you get your worth from how you look, be very careful, because when you put yourself online and you put yourself out there showing your body, if your body looks a particular way, you're going to feel a particular way. You're looking in the mirror and you're not a fan of certain things or everything that you see. Keep that in mind. Question 1. Did your childhood fall into one of these 6 categories? Now, this is the $1 million question, in my opinion, because if you look at a lot of reasons why people get into sex work in the first place, it's one of these 6. Right there. Number 1, I am not good enough. You feel like doing sex work is going to give you that self-worth. It's going to make you feel like you finally matter. You're finally good enough. You're finally going to be accepted, and you're going to see yourself differently in a more positive light. Number 2, I am not worthy. Maybe you feel like you don't deserve things because of who you are. Maybe your parents treated you in a particular way that made you feel like you didn't deserve things, that you weren't worthy. Maybe your teachers, maybe you got bullied. Whatever it is that made you feel like you're not worthy, did you feel that? Do you feel that now? Number 3, I don't belong. If you feel like the odd one out, if you feel like you couldn't quite find your place in the world, you found it difficult to make friends because people treated you differently, maybe they picked on you, maybe they looked at you funny, maybe they called you names, whatever it is, like, did you feel different? Did you feel like you didn't quite belong? Do you still feel like that? Are you looking for a sense of belonging, feeling like you're with people who understand you and don't think that you're the outsider? Number 4, I am not perfect. This idea of perfectionism is so destructive, because as humans, we can never be perfect, but we think if I were perfect, then everything would be okay. If I were the perfect kid, then my parents would not have been mean to me. If I were the perfect kid, then I wouldn't have been sent to detention. Whatever it is, if it's about perfectionism, it will come up for you. It will feel like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm trying to be perfect. I'm always trying to do the right thing. I'm always trying to get that feeling of, okay, I've done enough now. I'm perfect. I don't make mistakes. No one can use that against me, and I'm good now.
Because I am the best.
Number 5, I am not capable. You might think that all you have to offer is your body. I certainly thought that for a very long time. I was like, if I can take care of this body, if I can be snatched, if I can go to the gym, stay in shape, eat clean, if I put my body on a pedestal and I worship the fuck out of it, then I don't need anything else. And the reason why I thought my body was the only thing I had to offer is because I was abused when I was a child. So I automatically had that feeling that all I was good for was my body, because my body was used. So there was nothing else to me. It was all about my body. The emphasis was on my body. Even though it happened when I was a child, I carried that with me into adulthood, and it made me act in a way where I highlighted my body, I showed it off. I loved getting validation. I loved getting compliments. Everything to do with my body, I was very comfortable with. I wasn't comfortable getting compliments on my intelligence. I wasn't comfortable getting compliments on being kind. I didn't care about that. As soon as I heard, you're hot, you have a great body, I love your ass, whatever it was, I was like, yes, I'm doing something right in the world. And that's because I thought that was all I had to offer. I wanted to be a porn star when I was little, and that was because I didn't think I had anything else to be able to make money. I knew I had my body, and I thought, why not? And I feel like a lot of people think like that. As girls, there is so much emphasis on how we look. And on top of that, if you do go through something like physical, sexual, psychological abuse when you're a kid, it doesn't even need to be sexual, but if you go through anything like that, that makes you feel like your body is what you need to be focusing on, whether it's stay skinny, don't get fat, any kind of messaging that you're getting, you might feel like, I'm not capable of anything else. My body is my selling point. Number 6, I am not significant. Along the same lines of I'm not worthy, but significant is more about standing out, being special. Not being significant in your head could mean that You don't deserve to be loved. You don't deserve to be happy because you don't matter enough, or what you're giving in the world or what you're contributing is not good enough. Those are the 7 questions that I would love for you to ask yourself before you go to the OnlyFans website and sign up. And once you do that, it's done. But if you ask yourself these 7 questions and you answer them, take some time, really think about it. Maybe come up with some other questions of your own that I didn't think about. That's fine too. But just do that and see how you feel. See what answers come out for you. Is OnlyFans still right for you? Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will see you next time. Mwah. Bye.